Oh, grand. Baby grand. You know, it is kind of a shame. I think probably part of the reason that I made this setup the way I did with 4 energy weapons, or 4 particle weapons, and 4 hurdy guns, and then 2 stunny guns, was because of the Reliant and Star Citizen. Oh, what was the thing? I saw something on Reddit. Is there any lore explanation of why the world of Star Citizen is so bland? Yeah, and I'm not any hate on the poster, because that's their opinion. And like, if that's their opinion, I mean, you can agree or disagree with it. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. Also, I'm seeing that I didn't actually fully survey Tirna VIII-c because I didn't get a component thing. Which is unfortunate, but I will do that off screen because I also have some stuff I need to do. I probably should not go too crazy here. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long though. But let's read what this guy has to say. The universe of Star Citizen is extremely bland because there is effectively no trace of what makes us us. No happiness, no sadness, not a hint of sexuality. All of the places in Pyra were created based on how a 5-year-old child sees a bad guy, not how it actually is. All the space stations and event cities do not appear to be lived in by humans at all. Yes, it's pretty, but only on a surface level. There's no environmental storytelling that instantly signals to us that the city is in fact lived in, and has been for hundreds of years by living, breathing beings, that are figuring things out along the way. So again, are there any lore reasons why the verse is so sterile? Edit. Lots of people seem to be taking this personal. We're here to discuss, and all want the same thing, so let's keep this civil. Yeah, so I'm not going to look at the comments, because I'm just trying to think of it. How do I feel about that personally? First off, is the premise true? And, yeah, basically. I did see the first comment said NPC animations aren't there yet, and that's part of it, but also, like, you do see wild lines, and that absolutely helped. And I don't know, dude. I don't know how accurate, especially because I haven't seen a lot of stuff in Pyro. But yeah. I will say though, it was definitely annoying. It is definitely kind of annoying that in Pyro it's just, oh, the stations are just full of garbage because apparently, like, criminals just don't give a shit. And like, okay, maybe that's fair enough, but like, I don't know. And there would probably be some, you know, humans are fickle creatures. We're not all the same. Some of us are going to care more about cleanliness than not. Some of us won't care about it at all. I mean, if there's a trash cult, that would not surprise me at all. But, you know, that being said, it's, you know, is definitely a thing. I do think there is also maybe some element of, like... So I'm trying to think, how much stuff do I know about... Because, like, part of the problem can also be that there's, like... There is lore. There is fucking lore for Star Citizen. But it's just not, you know, in-game. A lot of it isn't in-game anyway. And so, like, how much of... When I think about that, because I'm like, no, that's not true, is it? I mean, like... I don't know, because... Is there not environmental storytelling? I mean, there kind of... I mean, there is a little bit. Arguable how well it... How much, but, you know... Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you just see facilities... You know, you just see facilities that are... Really don't have too much character going on. I don't know. There's... But I'm also trying to think of, like, what would actually be... What tangible criticism could I give to say, hey, this is a thing that I need to see in a... To believe that this is a more lived-in universe. And I mean, like, you know, some things like... A pool table that's, you know, being used, or... You know, a card game... that's on a table. Definitely a thing. I guess it would be nice, it would probably be good to have, you know, some things like... You know... Like the 890 hijack mission, where, like, you know, you see... I mean, you see, like, dead bodies, but you don't see, like... I don't know, it would probably be interesting if there was some more evidence that, you know, this gang had been here, just like, or, you know, somebody boarded the thing, you know, like, blast marks and bullet holes on the doors, you know, doors forced open. It's definitely one thing where, like, yeah, if, you know, the bunkers with the always forced open doors, it'd be really nice if, yeah, I mean, it would be cool if, yeah, there were some of them. Sometimes you'll see you'll see ones that are, forced open, but not all the time. Sometimes there'll be a gadget, sometimes there won't be, you know. Or like a door breacher tool that they showed off years ago. You know, stuff like that. And of course, like, there is some things to be said about NPC actions, but it is also kind of... I don't know, it is a little bit... I don't know. I'm never around enough NPCs to really get a good sense of that sort of thing, right? I'm not, like, really... interacting too much with the world, and, like, the world's not interacting with me. Like, I mean, if I had an outpost on Lyria, and I was doing missions around Lyria, and I get a mission that's like, oh, this gang's moved back into Lyria, and, you know, like, well, okay, let's say I'm, like, doing a patrol mission that's just sort of, you know, it's whatever, it's just standard, usual stuff, and then I see, oh, these are Nova Rider ships. The Nova Riders are in town, I guess. And then I start seeing missions that are, you know, about the Nova Riders, and I see other things like, oh, I know the Nova Riders, you know, deal with Widow specifically or something. I don't know what the Nova Riders actually do. I think they're shipjackers, actually. But, you know, like, oh, like, this is evidence that the, you know, that the Nova Riders are here. Okay. But I don't know, I mean, that's more immersion, not necessarily lore, not necessarily same thing that And that's definitely an important thing. It does strike me as a, I don't know, like, I don't know, because I'm just thinking of, like, what things could they, you know, implement there? I mean, obviously NPCs, again, are a big thing, because, like, yeah, I mean, like, well, I guess when I heard sex, I think drug, sex, rock, drug, sex, and rock and roll. We're like, yeah, I mean, people talking about, I mean, you know, people talking about being affected by, or, you know, just, you know, clearly, you know, being affected by, you know, either, you know, things like drugs, or, you know, or just being like, oh, man, I gotta pick this, oh, this looks awesome, I gotta pick this up for my boyfriend, oh, this looks awesome, oh, this looks super cute, I gotta pick this up for my wife, you know, that kind of a thing. Or, you know, the like homeless person asking for money, who has, you know, maybe they've got signs of, you know, of what's the of widow use. I was gonna say, what's the thing in Cyberpunk? Blue glass? I think it's blue glass. I was like, no, that's a completely different thing. I think it also is a thing. But, you know, it's also like, oh, is this, like, but, you know, there could be that, or that could also not be, and it's like, oh, this person just, like, for some reason, you know, like, you know, is just on hard times for whatever reason. It's more, and can be a sign of, like, oh, the economy in this area ain't doing so hot, which also means this and that. It also definitely doesn't help that there are election posters, even though in universe, you know, there's an election every 10 years, and the last election was in game. It was, you know, 5 years ago, or I guess I should say in lore. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. There's also one thing that I really liked in a lot of things, where there are, like, these, you know, very action-focused games and RPGs, but you have to have some element of either slowing down, and not necessarily stopping to smell the roses, but, like, because it doesn't need to be that sort of pacing. Like, you know, violence is not... The violence can be, like in Cyberpunk, I'm thinking specifically, violence can be a norm, but it doesn't have to be, like, this is what the entire world is consisting of, right? Where, like, you know, yeah, you do have moments where you're just talking with people, you're just, you know, you're hanging out with people, you're discussing business, you know, not everything has to be solved with not every argument has to, you know, be exclaimed with bullets, or emphasized with bullets, that kind of a thing. And so, like, yeah, I mean, literally just, like, going out to hang out with an NPC and discuss things, and, like, if it's just a cutscene if it's just exposition, that you go out in a bar and there's just like basically a 30-minute cutscene, maybe interactive cutscene where you talk with them about stuff. I mean, like, that's not great. But if it's, you know, genuinely like, okay, well, we need to talk about things, we need to discuss things. Hey, like, you know, you go to Miles Eckhart and you're like, hey, and he's like, hey, you're like one of my most trusted bounty hunters, mercenary agent people. What do you think of this? And that's actually, like, that actually has an effect on either what missions he gives you, or there's like an invisible counter of, oh, players who have enough rep with Miles Eckhart are telling him that, you know, he has to play things more cautiously, so he plays things more cautiously. Stuff like that. Can also definitely be a thing. It's also something that I really want to, you know, keep in mind when I'm thinking of like tabletop games, because yeah, like, action is great, but it's not everything. And action and combat should feel special. Now, like, if you want to play a tabletop game, if you want to play D&D like an action movie, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But, you know, if you want to have a like really immersive experience, that's there are better ways to go about that. Anyway, till next time, have a good day, great day even. Chowskis.